I work at a convenience store. Well, at least that's what it's called, but it seems more like a store from hell to me. My family never pressured me into getting a job, but getting one always seemed like the normal thing to do. I wasn't great in school, so the best job I could really get was working at a convenience store near my neighborhood. It's been around longer than my grandparents have, and it looks the same as it did back then. It's as unimpressive as you would imagine, but something about it doesn't sit well with me. I don't know why. Today is my first day working here, so here's to hoping at least it's going to pay well. I walked in, and it was immediately met with flickering lights and a disgustingly bright yellow hue to the soap into everything. The shelves looked sun-faded, like they had been left outside for decades, and some of the labels didn't match the items they were glued to. The warm summer heat was still intense since there wasn't any AC. All I could do was sit behind the counter and fan myself with an old receipt pad, the air feeling thick and unmoving, like it had already been breathed too many times. Of all the jobs I had to get, why did it have to be here? The customer walked in right after I said that. It was a tall figure wearing a dark gray hoodie. It was too warm to be wearing something like that, but I figured they must just really like it. I kept trying to cool myself as the figure slowly walked past me. All I could see under the hood was what looked like a void, not shadow, not darkness, just nothing, as if the space where a face should have been had been cut out. It really does just keep getting weirder. The figure came back to what looked like a bottle of water and a bag of chips. I didn't recognize the brand. The bag was slightly translucent, and whatever was inside shifted too slowly when they set it down, like it was resisting gravity. I could have sworn I heard something faintly tapping from inside the bag, not loud enough to be obvious, just enough to make my skin crawl. I tried not to pay attention to it. That'll be 565. The person in the hooded pulled out the exact amount of money from who knows where. It didn't seem to reach in a pocket or a wallet. They just had it in their hand, as if it had always been there. Whatever. I grabbed their water and chips, putting them into a bag. The moment I took the money, I almost dropped it. It was ice cold, not just air conditioned cold, but painfully cold, like it had been drifting through space moments earlier. The chill bit into my palm and lingered even after I let go. Here you go. Have a nice day and please be careful. You might catch a heat stroke if you keep wearing that hoodie. I let out an awkward chuckle at how bad I was talking to people. My face felt hot with embarrassment. I looked away from the figure, took a breath, and tried to calm myself down before turning back to face the counter. The figure was still standing there. They hadn't moved. Are you okay? I asked, forcing my voice steady. Did I make you uncomfortable? My finger tightened. The store felt quieter than it should have. The hum of lights had dulled. Even the faint buzzing from the old refrigerator behind had me stopped. I opened my mouth to say something else, but the figure slowly reached up and pulled back their hood. There were a void, not a black face, not a shadow, a literal absence. Their head was pitch black emptiness, swallowing the light around it. The yellow glow of the store bent inward, vanishing into that nothingness. The air left, not figuratively, not emotionally. The air was physically gone. My chest seized as my lungs pulled in and found nothing. The pressure in the store shifted violently. My ears rang, and the lights above me exploded one by one with sharp cracks. Glass raining down onto the floor. I gasped again, my vision blurring, a sudden wet warmth spilling from my nose and dripping onto the counter. I clawed at my throat, sucking at empty space. My jaw locked tight as my body panicked. Then the hood went back up. The air slammed back into the room all at once. I collapsed forward, coughing hard, dragging oxygen into my lungs as the lights flickered weakly. Several of them dead. The shadow remains crunching under the figure's boots as they turned and walked away. The door chimed cheerfully behind them. The store smelled wrong after that. Metallic, cold. The shelves seemed different when I finally looked up. Items I was sure hadn't been there before sat quietly among the normal stock. Jars filled with something that looked like fog. Candy bars that pulsed faintly under their wrappers. The refrigerator section, that now hummed again, louder than before, as if pleased. The money was still on the counter where I dropped it, frosting the surface beneath with a thin layer of condensation. I don't know what the thing was or why it shops here, but judging by what this place sells when no one's looking, I don't think it was a strangest customer. And I'm really not looking forward to my next day at work.